Hey guys, this is just a little tutorial on how to utilize the forms as a quiz through the Google browser. The first important thing is that you're logged into your iqcalifornia.org Chrome browser, and that the students who are going to be using the quiz form are as well. Because if they're not, they won't be able to access it. So that's the most important thing you have to do in order for this to work in the first place. But everybody has access to these forms, and it's just if you click on this little waffle from your homepage here, you'll see right here is the forms. And if you click on that, it'll bring you to a page where you can pretty much create any kind of form that you want. And I usually start with a blank quiz form here. And I have done this a few times so far. Um, the most recent one I have here is for the science part 2 that I just gave to my students today, as a matter of fact. So if I open this up here, you could set this up any way you want. Um, there's all kinds of settings here, and you just tailor it to the way you think is best for how you want to use it. But one of the things I did want to mention is that there is not a lockout mode as far as the browser goes. The students would have to be using a Chromebook and all that, and we're not set up that way. So that's not something we'll be able to utilize. But there's lots of other um, ways to implement, the discourage the use of AI. And I'll talk about one of those things in just a second. But you can essentially set this any way you want to set it up. You can give each question a default amount of points. So every question has that amount of points. You can collect email addresses or not. You can limit to just one response so they can't submit it multiple times. Uh, there's just all kinds of settings here that you can set to your preferences. You would just have to go through it. You start off with a banner up here that you can edit, and you could put your own picture in there. I put this heading in here, and so one of the things that I figured was probably a good thing to just include, regardless of any other attempts to discourage AI, is just to tell them, quick reminder, do your own thinking. And I just came up with this little blurb that says, everyone, friendly reminder, our tests are designed to check for your understanding, not what AI can spit out. So using AI to answer test questions might seem like a shortcut, but it actually blocks you from learning the skills you need to pass the class and the ones after it. So do your own work, show your own thinking, and give yourself a chance to grow. And so, reading that ahead of time might put them in the right mindset where, I'm not going to use AI. And so including this with every type of a test is probably something that would be very useful, hopefully. You can have a designated name block in here. You can add different sections. You can add a video to this. You can add pictures to this. You can set up your questions in any way that you see fit. You can have short answers, paragraphs, multiple choice, checkboxes, drop downs, uh, multiple choice grid. I mean, there's so many options. And so for the science part 2, it's simply a long answer. And so I'm providing them with a little picture as a hint as to what the answer should be. This is like the first time I'm doing this, so I'm testing out different ways. But they have their question, they have this little picture of a fossil, and they're supposed to respond to that. And I have it set here where the answer key, if there was a multiple choice, you could have the correct answer selected in your answer key, and it would automatically grade the test for you once it was submitted. Um, but for a short answer, that's not one of the options. But and there's only 2 questions. So this is question number 2. I simply took the questions directly from uh, directly from Canvas. I mean, I just went into my Canvas, I downloaded the Word document that was the test, and I just copy and pasted everything from that over to each individual question that I created here. Um, and then all you have to do is publish it, grab the responder link, and then I usually click on shorten the URL so it's not such a long string of numbers and letters, and I copy it and you just send it over to them, and it takes them right to this page, and it looks like, when you're looking at it in preview mode, it just looks like any other type of form or survey that you would take, but it's the actual test, and you have it set up to, grade it and everything. And then all they have to do is submit it. So there's no other platform for them to have to log into. There's no downloading and saving and renaming a document and uploading it. I find that to be one of the most difficult challenges that I've had to deal with, is having the students learn how to do all that stuff. And this kind of eliminates all that. Um, the one thing I did run into that was an issue is having the students figure out how to log into this iqcalifornia.org browser. So some could do it and some could not. I'm not sure why the ones that couldn't do it were unable to, but I'm going to try and figure that out and remedy that as quickly as possible. But this is how I'm utilizing the forms to do part twos. And I'll probably use it for other things too. I just haven't exactly decided yet, but you could do it for labs, like a lab report. Um, for something like a math test, like right here, um, you can add a section here where they can upload a file. So for example, I want them to show their work. So this might be the math question right here that they're going to select the correct answer for. But along with that, they're going to be writing with a piece of paper and a pencil, exactly how they came to their answer, and that document gets uploaded along with this when they're done. And so it'll also be required, so they won't even be able to upload it without including, an extra piece of paper with their work. And so, yeah, they'll have to, take a picture of it and get it to be on their computer, but they should know how to do that anyway. And this is something I set up before, and I haven't used it yet, but I plan on it. And then you have your own little library here full of the different tests that you've created, different assessments. This is the one I created for the science interim assessment, and it had, it has all the different questions here that were taken directly from the IXL test that we made. I just copy and pasted it over to this form, and the students were very receptive to it, and it worked out really well. Um, so yeah, that's kind of like how I'm doing this right now, and if you feel like that's going to be helpful, maybe I would suggest giving it a shot. Also, once they start doing it and sending it back, you get all your responses right here. So it tells you everything that you need to know about what student did what. It gives you all kinds of information like frequently missed questions. Here's some students, they uploaded some files, and it says who it's from. Well, Vanessa uploaded a bunch of files, which wasn't a requirement for this, but for some reason she did. Who responded, and I have all my responders here. Every question, how they did on it, which can give you some information on what maybe you should reteach and focus on later. And then up here, if you go to individual, it will go through each individual student. So the first one here is Giovanni, and you could see that he got 24 out of 40 points. And so then you can just continue to scroll through these. And then your next student here was Jaden, and what did he get? 26 out of 40. And so then you simply have to just put that into your roll book. You're already going to have a section for the 40-point quiz in there, or the 40-point part 2, or whatever it might be. And all you got to do is go down the list and put in what this particular student got out of those 40 points. So yeah, Canvas doesn't record it for you, but having having to just put that number in is pretty quick and pretty easy. And so, yeah, I would say give it a shot and see how it works for you. It might not be for everybody, but it's definitely something I'm finding to be useful. And so I just wanted to share it with you guys. Thanks and good luck with it.